Hey guys, I'm Hellhound, and I just bought Cult of Chucky. It just came out today. Yeah, today was the day that it came out. Was the release date, and I just watched it, and wow. I can't believe what I just watched. Yeah, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? Yeah, I just watched the movie and I loved it. Now, as you know, I've reviewed all the other Chucky movies, all six of them already, so check those reviews out if you haven't already. Blah, blah, blah. And I trust that you've seen all the other Chucky movies up to this point if you're watching this video, or maybe even you've seen this one already, because I'm going to reveal spoilers for the other movies. Obviously, you're going to have to, if you see this movie and able to talk about it, you got to know how Curse of Chucky ends, so I'll have to reveal that. And I will reveal spoilers for this movie at the end of the video. I'll let you know. I'll give you a warning. I'll tell you when to turn it off because I gotta talk about the ending. That's part of what makes this movie so great. But anyway, yeah, okay, so there's a spoiler-free review until the end. Again, I will warn you. I will tell you when to turn the video off if you haven't seen this movie. So, okay, let's begin with the non-spoiler section. Okay, yeah, this movie pretty much opens where, Curse of Chucky left off. Nika, who's the lone survivor of Chucky's previous massacre, he killed her whole family. He wanted revenge because her mother was kind of the one responsible for getting him, captured by the police and eventually shot before he transferred his body to the good guy doll. We all know that story. Charles Lee Ray, played by Brad Dourif, who does the voice of Chucky, notorious serial killer, became a killer doll. We all know that story. Yeah, he killed her whole family after all these years. She survived. She went to the mental asylum. She was blamed for the murders. Everybody there, the other inmates, the doctors, the nurses, the hospital director, they all believe she did it, and even she now believes that she was the one who did it. She thought that she killed her whole family. She started to believe they're using, shock therapy and all these things on her. They got her drugged up. She started to believe that she believed the murders and hallucinated Chucky, who was like her alter ego. She's got schizophrenia, all this stuff. So, and then what happens is a doll. I won't tell you how the movie opens because that's kind of another spoiler. I know it's in the very beginning of the movie, but it kind of, I don't know, it gives away the big surprise, so I won't reveal that until the end either. Basically, yeah, she's in the asylum. There's other inmates who are really twisted. There's one lady who lost her baby. There's a woman who burned down a house. There's a guy who has multiple split personalities. There's this woman who thinks that she died and thinks she's a ghost. There's all these crazy people. And a doll is, the hospital director bought a doll, a good guy doll, that actually identifies itself as Chucky. It calls itself Chucky. He made sure when he bought the doll that it was one of the ones that was named Chucky, to help Nika cope with her, psychosis, with her, come to terms with what she's done and, forgive herself for the murders because it was another personality that did it, yada yada. So, Chucky doll comes. There's actually multiple Chucky dolls. Another one comes in the mail, and then another one's brought by Tiffany, who's still in the body of Jennifer Tilly. That's not a spoiler. She was in the trailer. Jennifer Tilly as Tiffany and Alex Vincent as Andy are both main characters in this movie. Again, it's not a spoiler. They were shown in the trailer. They were even shown in the synopsis, the plot summary. Even if you read the back of the box, it says they both have a big role. Not a spoiler. So yeah, there's multiple Chucky dolls, and it's obvious then. So murders start happening, and we all know what's going on. Chucky's alive. He's the one doing the killing. That's not a spoiler. There's 7 movies. If you don't know by now that it's about a killer doll who actually is alive, then where have you been? Living under a rock? I don't know. Anyway, okay, we all know Chucky's doing the killing, but there's a slight twist to it this time. I'm not going to reveal that yet. But yeah, wow, where do I begin? What I loved about this movie, I love the asylum setting. I thought that was a really, really creepy, very isolated, very secluded environment for Chucky to be killing people and spreading his evil. It's also during the winter time, so the color white is seen a lot. The white walls of the asylum, the bright lights. Outside, there's snow on the ground. Yeah, there's just, it's this very white, it's very, a very, very claustrophobic setting for a horror movie. Kind of like the last film, took place in a really large house. And Chucky's back to claim, Nika, who is the one victim that got away, and she believes that she is insane, that she did do the killings. And so, yeah, the other characters are interesting. They're all insane. They all have got their own, unique psychological issues, their own mental illnesses. The hospital director, he was a dick. He was a total asshole. I couldn't stand his character, and he did really stupid things too. Like, okay, there's murders happening. You know, after like 3 or 4 murders and crazy things are happening, the mental patients are becoming worse than they ever were. Mass hysteria. I figured after a while he would have said, okay, there's too many problems. I don't think Chucky's doing the killing, but there's too many problems. It's causing mass hysteria. Let's get rid of these dolls. He frequently made really dumb decisions. It turned out he was a real bad scumbag too. But again, it's not really a spoiler. You can kind of see it coming. But I got to talk about the characters. Nika, played by Fiona Dourif, Brad Dourif's real-life daughter. She's back, and she's great. She's better than ever. I'm getting tongue-tied. And Andy Barclay, again, played by Alex Vincent, who reprised his role from the first 2 films. The brief cameo he had in the last movie, Curse of Chucky. He's got an expanded role, and he's great. I love watching him. He just seems like a grown-up version of Andy perfectly, because he is, he essentially is. Then yeah, Tiffany's in this movie. It even it confirms that her last name was Valentine. Again, that's not a spoiler, because that's been on websites and stuff before. I've seen that before. I've seen people refer to her name as Tiffany Valentine, but I never think it was stated outright in a movie. And they even say, you look just like Jennifer Tilly. She's still in her body, obviously. If you've seen Seed of Chucky, you know that's coming. Yeah, wow, great characters, great kills. This one was a lot gorier than Curse of Chucky, too. A lot more blood and gore, a lot more inventive kills. Like, got a drill through some guy's eye. There's a crushed face with a shoe. Oh man, where do I begin? There's a beheading. There's people cut up. There's a lot of blood and gore in this movie. I don't even remember it all. This movie's still fresh in my mind. I just watched it. I need to watch it again now. I want to watch it again right away. I got a good friend. She's really into Chucky. It's her favorite thing. We watched all the Chucky movies together multiple times. She hasn't seen this yet. I can't wait to show it to her. I can't wait to see her reaction. Yeah, I love the asylum setting. This was a lot more serious and a little more psychological than the other movies. There's a lot of nightmare sequences, a lot of dream sequences. Sometimes you don't know what's real and what's not. But at first I thought this was a little too different, but it's still a Chucky movie. Once the end credits start rolling, I just watched a Chucky movie that brought something different, added a fresh spin on it. It's not just Chucky killing people again. There's a lot more to it. Wow, does this movie have a lot going on. It's a little convoluted, but it's all balanced brilliantly. Yeah, it was great seeing Tiffany again. It's great seeing Andy again. Great seeing Nika. They were like all the best. They were the best non-Chucky characters. Right up there. Of course, and Mike Norris played by Chris Sarandon, and Karen Barclay played by Catherine Hicks, and Kyle, his foster sister, played by Christina Lees. They were all like the best, non-Chucky characters. And it's great to see Nika, Andy, and Tiffany all in one movie and interacting with each other and having, lots of screen time. That was great, because they're always, as I said, aside from those other 3, those are like my favorite 3, like, human characters. So yeah, wow, oh man, yeah, very inventive kills, great setting, great characters, great acting, great scares. There was a few serious, silly moments that kind of took me out of it, because most of it was like very serious and very, visceral and really eerie. Now Chucky's not mysterious in this movie. He's not kept in the shadows for a while like he was in Curse of Chucky. He comes alive like really early on, and I'm glad, because we already know he's alive. Why keep us in suspense even longer? It worked for Curse of Chucky, because it's been a while since we've seen a Chucky movie, and that one came out. And it worked for the first movie, because we didn't really know he was alive completely. When that first came out. We pretty much knew, but it didn't really show it until later. It was still a shocking scene. It was still very suspenseful. Now, I'm glad they didn't go that route with this one. There's still some great suspense, some great stalk sequences, some great scares, great kills. But yeah, oh wow, I really love what they did with this movie. And here in a minute I'm going to talk about some spoilers, because I got to do the review justice. But it's not the spoiler part yet, so don't worry. If you haven't seen this movie, don't turn the video off yet. I'm not done. What else can I say that isn't a spoiler? Yeah, really creepy moments. The other enemies are really creepy, like the woman who believes that the Chucky doll is her baby and she's cradling it and taking care of it. That was pretty eerie. As I said, Chucky's got some great lines in this one. He's really funny, but it's not an over-the-top comedy like Seed of Chucky, or even Bride of Chucky for that matter. It's still a horror movie, still a straightforward, scary movie. There's some cartoonish, silly moments like Chucky writing things in people's blood and stuff, and like a sewn-up wrist as a part. It looks plastic, looks really fake and kind of weird, and there's some things I thought, that's a little weird for Chucky to do, but at the end, it all makes sense. It all comes together full circle. I heard a lot of people were disappointed in this one, and I'm sure it's because Chucky's in it a lot, but, we already know he's alive. Come on, the cat's already out of the bag. I don't want to see another movie that spends the first 40 minutes keeping him in the shadows. Is the doll alive? Is he going to come alive? We already know. Come on, let's cut the crap. So I'm sure a lot of people complained over that, and then probably some of the humor. Chucky's really funny in this one. He's got some great one-liners, great great wisecracks, and that's what I want. That's what I expect from the character, you know. But it's not without being a comedy, as I said. All right, now I'm gonna reveal some spoilers. I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. This is the spoiler section. This is your warning. Turn the video off if you have not seen this movie. I know some of you still watch my reviews, even after the spoiler, when you haven't seen this movie, like my April Fool's Day review, and they say, "Oh, I wish I hadn't watched it now." I'm warning you. Turn the video off now. All right, you have been warned. Here comes the spoilers. There are multiple Chuckies in this movie, and they're all alive. Chucky's discovered a new voodoo chant to kind of like the Horcruxes in Harry Potter. He fractions his soul into multiple dolls, and he can control multiple dolls at one time, and people. Wow, yeah, the ending of the last movie makes perfect sense now. Curse of Chucky had too many endings. I didn't understand. He transferred his soul into Alice, and then we saw Chucky in doll form attacking Andy, only to get his head blown off, which again is addressed at the beginning of this movie. I was like, how is that possible? This movie tells, because he can transfer his soul into multiple things at once, as long as they have, as he puts it, 2 legs and a hand for stabbing. I love it! Oh, this movie rocked. It rocked my world. It blew me away, just like Curse of Chucky did. And I kind of prefer that one a little more. I think this one was like, I enjoyed it a little less than Curse of Chucky, but it still blew me away. There was a lot of nostalgia. There was a lot of fan service. They knew what they wanted. Don Mancini, who directed this one, he also directed the last 2 movies, and he's written all the Child's Play movies and the whole series. He really knew what the fans wanted, and boy, did he deliver. Boy, did he give us what they want. So that's one of the main spoilers. Chucky's found a new way to control multiple dolls. There's all kinds of Chucky's going around, and when they were together, their lines are hilarious. The way they interact with each other and play off each other, they're making jokes. Like, there's a part where Chucky says, and by the way, you've seen the movie already, so you know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this section of the review, I hope you've seen this movie already, because otherwise I'm ruining for you. But I warned you. So, there's one part where he says, well, I lost, one of the Chucky says, well, I lost my arm, I have it worse. And the other one's like, oh, look at my face. And the other one says, look at my hair. It's like Chucky with short hair. And they're like, okay, you win. That was hilarious. And yeah, Andy's in it. He comes to the asylum to come to Nika's rescue, but he's got to deal with Tiffany, the bride of Chucky. And, oh boy. Okay, here's the main spoiler. Here's the biggest spoiler of all. Please turn the video off if you haven't seen this movie. I gotta talk about it. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Chucky transfers his soul into Nika, and she can walk again. She's not paralyzed. She's not in a wheelchair. Nika becomes Chucky. She even talks like Brad Dourif. It's not actually his voice, but she does the accent and everything. It's like, wow. She even looks like Charles Lee Ray, obviously, because, Fiona Dourif is Brad Dourif's real-life daughter. And Brad Dourif, by the way, is awesome again. It's Chucky's voice. He's the only person who can ever do Chucky voice. Don't ever remake this with somebody else, because I'll come after you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he delivers the voice. Great lines. But Nika, she becomes Chucky, and then she teams up with Tiffany at the end. She leaves the asylum. She frames Andy. He's the one who's going to get blamed for the killing. Now he's locked up there. Well, yeah, I kind of feel bad for what they did with Andy, but there will be another sequel. It's probably Curse of Chucky is probably start of a new trilogy. This is the second installment of that trilogy. They'll probably make another one. Andy will return. So yeah, Nika is now Chucky, and she can walk. Chucky's in Nika's body, along with the other dolls, but I think at the end he kind of leaves all the other dolls, and his whole entire soul goes into Nika, because he can control multiple dolls at once, but I think only he can focus better if he's only in one doll. It's a new spell. It's a new voodoo chant that he said he got on voodooForDummies.com, which I thought that was kind of silly. So anybody who goes to this website is going to know how to do this. That's kind of silly. But this is a reference to Bride of Chucky. There's a lot of references to the other movies. I'll say Easter eggs, references to Andy being the military, yada yada. So that's the other main spoiler. He comes out, then Chucky in Nika's body makes out with Tiffany. They're like, this is different. And then she's talking like Chucky. And then there's a Tiffany doll in the backseat of the car when they drive away, which also comes to life. I don't know if Tiffany put her soul in that body too, did the same thing Chucky did with this new chant, like the Horcruxes, like I said, or what, I don't know, or maybe it's Glinda in that body, or maybe it's Alice, I don't know. They reveal that, Chucky was in Alice's body killing people, a little girl, but she said, little girls get hurt. Alice does have a brief appearance. You know this, because you've already seen the movie, I hope, if you're watching this section. If not, tisk, naughty, shouldn't be watching this part if you haven't seen the movie yet. But, what can you do? If you're not planning on watching the movie, that's fine too. I'm just joking around. But no, I hope you actually seen the movie. I don't want you to watch the movie first before you're watching this section of the review. Maybe I should have put in 2 separate videos so you wouldn't be tempted to keep watching. But oh well, I can't. I'm going to talk about it all. And then the third major spoiler, and this is the kicker. This is the one, and I thought they would do something like this. I knew they would bring back a character from the past. I thought it'd either be Chris Sarandon as Mike Norris, the cop from the first one, or Catherine Hicks as Karen Barkley, Andy's mom. But no, it was this is my third guess, and it was Christina Lee's returns as Kyle at the very end. We see Andy's foster sister from Child's Play 2, Kyle, returning, played by the same actress, Christina Lee's. That is just freaking awesome. It blew my mind. Curse of Chucky did a lot of that. We had, a cameo at the end with Andy and Tiffany, and a reference to the other movies. We had flashbacks of Brad Dourif as Charles Lee Ray when he was human, and that blew my mind. That rocked my world. I didn't think another movie could do that, but boy, did this one do it with so many references, so much fan service, such nostalgia. I know some people have a problem with this sort of thing, but it was still a new movie. It's still a brand new Chucky adventure with a new spin, a fresh twist on it, lots of new surprises and shocking ideas. Some people might not like the idea of multiple Chuckies. I kind of didn't at first. I was like, what? But then it kind of grew on me. I was like, okay, I can work with that. I like that. I remember somebody said a long time ago, what if he transferred and sold all the dolls in the factory then to Child's Play 2? And I thought that'd be stupid, an army of Chuckies. But they do it in a good way. It's a well-written, respectful way. It's still, it doesn't disrespect the franchise. It's not insulting to the fans at all. It's pretty cool. I think it was a good idea. It's a good addition. They had to do something different. And that's why it's called Cult of Chucky, too, obviously. The cult is growing. Tiffany, Tiffany Valentine, who's, still in Jennifer Tilly's body. Yeah, and then Kyle's at the end. Wow. Oh boy, that pack a wallop. If do I have any gripes? Well, a few. As I said, there are a few, silly, cartoonish moments. There are some things I thought, would Chucky really do that? But he had great lines. The director, the hospital director, he was just stupid. He was an idiot. It turned out he was kind of a rapist, too. And he was just a scumbag. I couldn't wait for him to die. And also, why not get rid of the dolls if they're causing all these problems? He brought them as a coping mechanism to try to be therapy for Nika, but they just, all the patients are running amok now. It just calls me all the murders. Get rid of the dolls. Come on, man. It's obvious. But I guess he didn't give a shit. I guess he thought it'd make a good book because he's writing a book about it. Also, another problem was I really wanted a reference to Glenn and Glinda. We didn't get one in Curse of Chucky. I don't want a whole other movie where Glenn's the main character, the seed of Chucky. I don't want another movie like that. Just a reference, just a line or two. And at the end, they said, Tiffany said, I'm really sad about Alice and, Chucky, and Nika's body says, nah, that kid sucked, or something, or F that kid, something like that. And and I thought he was going to say, Nika, Chucky and her body was going to say, why don't we go see Glinda or Glenn? I was really hoping for that. What happened to these kids? I mean, Seed of Chucky still happened. It's still canonical. It still fits into the continuity. She is in Jennifer Tilly's body, and they mentioned the events of Seed of Chucky in the last film. So what happened to Glenn and Glinda? And it explains how, Chucky has, how he's had multiple forms and how he, had the Stitch look, and now he doesn't have the Stitch look. I don't think there really is a Stitch Chucky in this one, except for the severed head that Andy keeps, and he tortures it. Andy has one of Chucky's heads, the last one for the last movie, the one he shot with a shotgun, he's burning it and, shooting it with nail guns, and he's always torturing Chucky, the man from his nightmares. He haunted him. He can't kill him this time, because he discovered this new chant. It answers a lot of questions that Curse of Chucky brought on, but didn't answer in that movie. So I was like, wow, they managed to do that. They tied it up in a nice little package. I love continuity, strict continuity, and I love when they answer questions that a previous installment failed to answer. You got to see this movie. It's a perfect follow-up to Curse of Chucky. It's a perfect successor to that movie, and I believe that was the start of a new trilogy, so I hope they make one more. I kind of wish that there was Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, then maybe Revenge of Chucky would have been a trilogy, called it the Family Trilogy, seeing what happened to the whereabouts of Glenn and Glenna, because I'd love to have a movie that took place in between Seed of Chucky and Curse of Chucky, saw what happened, how he came back, all that stuff. We assume Tiffany helped him, but there's too much assuming in that. I'd love to see one, I would have wanted to see one take place in between Seed and Curse. Revenge of Chucky, maybe, because this is going to be another trilogy. Then we would have 3 trilogies: the Child's Play trilogy, the Family trilogy, Bride of, Seed of, maybe Revenge of, then the Nika trilogy, Curse of, Cult of, and whatever the next one will be. Who knows? But yeah, wow, I definitely want to see another one. I definitely want them to make an 8th installment. I thought maybe this should be the last one, but no, I want to see more. And especially he's in her body now. Wow, they get to control all these good guy dolls. That is freaking cool. I kind of wanted more flashbacks of Charles Lee Ray when he was alive. It was cool to finally see him as a human with Tiffany. He was in Nika's body, he was Fiona Dourif, no less. But still, that would have been cool to see more flashbacks of him when he was alive, when he was with Tiffany, what his relation was, what his connection was to Eddie Caputo, because I thought that wasn't really clear in the first movie. Did Eddie Caputo just drop him off and say, okay, have a nice day, go kill some people, I'll pick you up later? I don't know, maybe they were thieves, I don't know. It wasn't really very strict. Maybe how he like first met Mike Norris, the cop. I would have loved more flashbacks of Brad Dourif as Charles O'Reilly. I was hoping we were going to get that since we had that in the last movie, but it's fine. It's not a big deal if they didn't have that. I mean, they can only put so much put makeup on him and a wig to make him look younger so many times. I mean, it wasn't really all that believable. But it was cool seeing him as a human in the last one. Yeah, they didn't have that in this movie, but oh well, it's not a big deal. Still, I would have loved to see what happened to the whereabouts of Glenn and Glinda and some more things that were unanswered. But all in all, this is a great movie and a very good a very worthy installment in the Child's Play franchise, and definitely a great successor to Curse of Chucky. Again, I know people are giving it bad reviews and they're having problems with it, but I loved it. I don't care what anybody says. I thought this was great. And if I had to rank it among the rest of them, well, here's my ranking. Here's my updated ranking. Child's Play, then Child's Play 2, then Bride of Chucky, then Curse of Chucky, then Cult of Chucky, then Child's Play 3 and Seed of Chucky. Those are the two lesser ones. Those are the weaker entries. Those are the worst ones of the series. But I still like them, and I loved this one. So guys, if you're a Chucky fan and you haven't seen this yet, and for some reason you watched my spoiler-ish section of the review, again, naughty. I already told you the whole movie, but check it out anyway. And if you haven't seen them, if you have seen the movie, let me know what you think of it in the comments. Alright guys, I'm Hellhound. Long live Chucky. Time to play.